Welcome back to the Trusted Pipeline Advisor podcast, where we turn complex pipeline challenges into field-ready insights. Today, we're digging deep into a tool that's been reshaping how we think about internal corrosion, QIC Assess. Now, if you've worked in operations, chemical mitigation, or integrity management, you know corrosion isn't just a technical issue. It's an operational headache. And the key to solving it isn't just better chemistry, it's better intelligence. That's where QIC Assess comes in. This isn't about reacting to failures, it's about getting ahead of them. So let's break this down. QIC Assess was developed to answer a real-world problem. Back in the 90s, operators were seeing pipeline failures in places where they had corrosion programs already in place. And what they found was shocking. Even with inhibitors and inspections, unexpected pitting corrosion was showing up in zones they thought were under control. Meanwhile, general corrosion models were missing the mark completely. Why? Because traditional tools treated the inside of a pipeline as one uniform system. But we all know that's not how it works. Inside that pipe, you've got oil, water, gas, moving at different speeds, separating, swirling, sometimes stalling. And when water forms thin films along the pipe wall, that's when corrosion starts, especially in low-flow sections, elbows, rises, or after-slug events. QIC Assess changed the game by mapping these dynamics using what we call a corrosion hazard profile. Think of it like a heat map for corrosion. It tells you where water is likely to accumulate, how long it might stay there, and what the risk level is for localized attack. So instead of saying this pipeline has corrosion risk, we now say this specific segment, under these conditions, is where corrosion will likely initiate. And here's the best part. That hazard profile becomes the foundation of something called the CMP-IC, the Corrosion Management Plan for Internal Corrosion. CMP-ICs take the guesswork out of mitigation. They translate all that fluid behavior and risk mapping into actionable guidance for the teams that matter most, your field operations teams and chemical service providers. Here's what it tells them: where to pig, how often to pig, what inhibitors to use, at what dosage, where to apply MEG slugs, how to adjust based on flow rate or composition changes. This is corrosion management at the micro-targeted level, and that's what makes QIC Assess so powerful. It's also backed by serious modeling horsepower, using PipeSim and Olga-S to simulate multi-phase flow with remarkable accuracy. This allows operators to understand how oil, water, and gas behave under their pipeline's exact conditions, not just some generalized model from a textbook. Whether it's crude oil lines, multi-phase gathering systems, or wet gas service, QIC Assess has proven its versatility. The principles hold up across pipeline types because they're grounded in physics, fluid behavior, film formation, and how that affects steel integrity over time. And for field teams, this changes everything. Instead of broad generic recommendations, your crews are working from data-backed priorities. That means less wasted chemical, fewer unnecessary pig runs, earlier detection of problem zones, more efficient allocation of integrity spend. One operator saw the potential for up to 60% reduction in integrity management costs based on findings from a published QIC Assess case study, just by aligning mitigation with actual corrosion risk. That's not just a win for the budget, it's a win for safety, for downtime avoidance, and for regulatory confidence. And the bigger shift here, it's cultural. QIC Assess helps organizations move from reactive to proactive corrosion control. It equips teams with the situational awareness to prevent failures, not just repair them. In a world where pipeline reliability is everything and where public, environmental, and financial pressures are only increasing, tools like QIC Assess help us meet the moment with clarity and confidence. For example, one Western Canadian operator used QIC Assess to pinpoint a previously overlooked low-flow segment that had become a hotspot for under-deposit corrosion. By targeting that zone with tailored pigging and inhibitor dosing, they cut failure risk significantly and reduced their chemical costs by nearly 30%. Whether it's a high-pressure crude line or a gathering system feeding into a processing facility, the ability to act on pipeline-specific data is changing outcomes in the field. So if you're still relying on broad-spectrum inhibitors and fixed-frequency pigging programs, it might be time to evolve. Because smarter mitigation starts with smarter insight. That's it for today's episode. If you're curious to see how QIC Assess can optimize your corrosion management plan, Check out the technical resources and case studies on our website at trustedpipelineadvisor.com.